Hey guys, this video is going to go over simple interest and how to use the formula. Please make sure you're taking notes and you have a calculator while you're watching this video. All right, first thing that you need to remember is when you're working with simple interest, here is the formula. It is I equals PRT. All right, you learned that interest is something that you either earn if you have money in like a savings account or something like that, or that you might have to pay. And to find interest, we use this formula. We do the principal, which is basically the starting amount of money. You multiply it by the rate, which is like your interest rate, and then the time. And time is usually in years. All right, so we're going to do a couple problems, and I want you to write these down as we do them together. Here's our first problem. So somebody put $550 in a savings account that earns 7% interest, and you might see right here it says annual. That means per year, and they're going to leave it in for 4 years. So first thing that you should always do is write down the formula. So I equals PRT. All right, now in this problem, I left some blanks here because I want you to fill those in. So go ahead and push pause. See if you can fill in what you think goes there. All right, so principal, the P, that is $550. That's what he put in. So I'm going to do 550 times, the R stands for rate. I see it's 7%. Now, I can't put 7% there. I have to change that to a decimal. So when you change 7% to a decimal, remember you move it back twice. So it's 0.07. Okay, and then the T, the last blank, is for years, or the time, which is 4 years. And it said I wanted it in years, and it is in years, so I'm going to put 4 there. All right, so now all I have to do is multiply. I'm going to do 550 times 0.07 times 4, and I end up with 154. All right, and just a reminder, that is the interest. That's what we were solving for, the interest. So that is how much money you're going to earn. So if I ask you for your new balance on your account, that would be how much total money is in there. I would have to take what I started with, 550, plus I earned 154. So I would just add those together, and I end up with $704 in my account. All right, let's take a look at our next one. This one looks a little bit different, and I'll show you why. So we start out with our principal is $870. So let's say I borrowed $870 from the bank. All right, so that is my principal. And I'm going to have to pay a yearly interest rate of 3.7%. So first thing, remember when you want to change it to a decimal, you need to move it back twice. So 1, 2, so it's 0.037. All right, and then I am going to multiply it by the time. Remember, time in this case is supposed to be in years because it says annual. Well, this says 30 months. I want to know how many years that is. So a quick way to figure out the years if you're given months is to just divide it. So I'm going to do 30 divided by 12. So if I type that in on my calculator, 30 divided by 12, I end up with 2.5. That's actually 2.5 years. All right, so if it's in months, please make sure you turn it to years. And this is a quick way to do it. Just divide by 12. Okay, now I can multiply it out. So I have 870 times 0.037 times 2.5. And I end up with 80.475. Now, here's where you guys have to be careful. This is money. You can only have 2 decimal spots. So if you look at this, you look at the third number, it's a 5. If it's 5 or higher, you need to round it up a cent. So my interest is going to be $80.48. All right, now in this case, my interest, I don't earn this. I actually have to pay it because I borrowed money from the bank. So I borrowed 870 plus I'm going to have to pay back my 80.48. So the total amount I'm actually going to have to pay, if I add those up, is $950.48. So that is what I will have to pay back to the bank. All right, here is our next problem. So Josh borrowed $250 from his brother. His brother wasn't just going to give him that money for free, so he is charging him some interest for borrowing the money. He decides to charge him 2% annual interest, so every year, and he's going to do simple interest. So Josh saved up his money, and he was able to pay him back in 18 months. But he's not only going to have to pay him the $250 back, he's also going to have to pay him that interest for pay him some extra money for letting him borrow it. So how much interest will Josh have to pay him? All right, when you're solving problems, I really want you guys to start by writing down the formula. So you should write down I equals PRT. All right, so I want to find the interest. So I don't know what the I is, so I'm just going to put I. And then right below it, this is what I want you guys to do. You should put 3 sets of parentheses and fill them in. Okay, I should see this work. So I'm going to start with the principal. So right below where the P is, I'm going to write, well, how much principal did he start with? He borrowed $250. So I'll put that in the first one. All right, my second blank is the rate. So it looks like he did 2%. Now remember, 2%, you have to change that to a decimal, so move it back twice. So that's 0.02. So that's my rate. And then my time, you guys have to be careful. It says annual interest, so that means it wants it in years. But they said 18 months. Okay, well, to figure out how many years that is, you just divide by 12, because there's 12 months in a year. So I'm going to type in on my calculator 18 divided by 12, and I end up with 1.5, so that's 1.5 years. That's how long it took him to pay it back. All right, so now I want to find the interest, so all I have to do is multiply these. So I will do 250 times 0.02 times 1.5. And I end up with, for my interest, I equals 7.5. All right, now you guys have to be careful here. Again, this is money, so you don't just have 7.5. You have one more spot here. You need to add a 0. So I end up with 750. So this is the interest. Remember, this is either money paid or earned. So he's going to have to pay his brother $750 in interest. That was my question. Now, if the question would have said how much total does he have to pay his brother back? Well, he'll have to pay him $250 because that's what he borrowed. Plus, he has to pay him that extra $750. So if I add that up together, he's going to have to actually pay him $257.50. So the drone cost him $250, but he didn't have the money. He had to borrow it, so he's got to pay a little extra to his brother for letting him borrow it.